In the White House, President Eisenhower signs the proclamation that makes Alaska's entry into the Union official, nearly 92 years after Lincoln's Secretary of State bought the territory from the Russian Tsar for $7 million.
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Arbor Digital, the forefront of digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and wealth management, providing a low-cost, research-based investment strategy for Alaskans looking to invest their hard-earned money. Visit arborcapital.io today to put your money to work.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
Serrano's Mexican Grill, 2 locations, one on Tudor, one on Northern Lights. The Northern Lights location has their new tequila bar. Check it out. Also see their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
The Connoisseur Lounge, Alaska's premier locally owned and operated cannabis retailer, located in the heart of Palmer, Alaska. Their cultivated products include Snowcap Romance, Aurora Haze, Super Glue, and much more. Find them at theconnoisseurlounge.net.
AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and over. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They're the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Anchortown Dogs, located on 4th Avenue across from the old 4th Avenue Theater. Look for the blue and gold umbrella. From reindeer dogs to bomb euros, they've got you covered. Anchortown Dogs, your local gourmet hot dog and sausage cart.
Crude Magazine, Alaska-based media outlet using the last frontier as a springboard to discover larger truths about the cultures of our great state. Read more at crudemag.com.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include snow and ice management, weekly lawn care, and more. Get your free estimate today at lawnproak.com.
Double Shovel Cider Company, located off of Arctic and 58th. Handcrafted Alaskan-made colonial ciders. They also have a tap room downtown on the corner of 5th and E. Stop by today and taste an award-winning cider.
Lady with a Plan, your own Alaska event planner. From scouting the perfect location to planning the tiniest details, specializing in event management and production for intimate social gatherings. Find Lady with a Plan on Instagram. Turn them up, turn them up. Oh yeah, bud.
I might have to adjust your
because I gotta switch the mic up.
Yeah. You're good.
This was my original spot.
Yeah. You're back.
I like it over there though.
Yeah.
It seems like I get like really good consistent eye contact with the guest.
Yeah.
I almost feel like they're talking to me like a lot, but like really good ones like know how to like boom, 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 make like multiple eye contact.
Yeah.
But I like it over there. It's kind of a nice little change up though. Lacing up boots over here.
Lacing up boots.
Yep.
Well, welcome to another Alaska Wild Project podcast.
We are going to have a series of gear review. Wouldn't say gear reviews. I don't think that's the right word. Overview, maybe. We get a lot of questions on things that we use, things that we trust, products that we have been using for years. None of this stuff was given to us. None of this is like sponsor stuff. None of this stuff was free. We all paid for this. We probably had all these items before we even started the podcast.
Most definitely.
And basically just kind of give people an idea of some of the things that we use whenever we go out hiking or camping or whatever we're going to do. And today's topic is boots, and specifically hiking, mountain boots. I mean,
hunting boots,
like water boots and muck. That's a whole nother whole nother deal.
Or hiking boots or training boots.
Yep. So we're gonna get into that.
Like in the 90s, you know what I'm saying?
The Timbos.
The homie at work, he's been just rocking these like clapped out Jordans. He's one of our detailers. And, I mean, they're just like the soles like flapping, and I'm like, bro, like you see customers, you talk to customers, like you need to like, come on, man, you need to get some like presentable shoes. Like, I'm not here to discriminate or like towing the line, like I'm trying not to like sound rude, but bro, like those things are probably awesome when they were new.
His feet are gonna feel so good when he gets
I come to work. Yeah, I come to work on Monday the next day and just rolls up in some Timbos, dude. Just halfway up the ankle, he's just got 2 casts on. I'm like, man, those things need to break in. So his nickname is Boots now.
Oh, that's fun.
But what an extreme, right? It was some clapped out Jordans to just some like shiny leathered up Timbos.
Went Chicago to NYC.
I'm like, bro, it's like 75 out right now. He's like, my feet will be dry. I was like, all right, man, that's true.
You're the Timbo guy or you're not, I think. Or girl.
I wasn't. Black Timbos. I had black Timbos, but the big like shiny tan with the bright lace. No, man.
Yeah.
No, I didn't rock the Timbos in the starter jacket. I wasn't that cool.
You weren't that guy, Jack.
I had the like the low
can't see him being the
Timberland boots, like the real low like ankle boots.
Oh, okay.
They're like the classier kind of looking one.
Yeah, it's kind of like the like the Echoes.
Yeah, they look like Echoes.
Like Echoes.
Yeah. Like Echoes.
Not the straight Staten Island joint.
Just with the laces loose.
Oh yeah.
I definitely didn't wear them to do shit outside though.
You did not?
They were more like city.
No. Yeah, those were like going on date boots.
Yeah, They or if you wanted to slip really hard on the ice, you could wear those boots in the winter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or the Doc Martens.
Those are the ones. Doc Martens were the slippery ones.
Those are ice skates.
So
ice skates.
Slippery.
Without the blades.
Got a shattered elbow because of Doc Marten.
Yeah. They're coming back, dude. All that stuff's coming back, man. Yeah, I seen someone rocking the Doc Martens again.
Damn.
I don't know where they're getting them because Nordstrom's closed, but
hey man, shop online. That's what ruined Nordstrom's up here.
Oh, not only Nordstrom's.
Shall we not get into that?
Yeah.
Ruin in America?
I wouldn't say ruin. I think it's a transition. Yeah.
Change it up a little bit. The box stores ruin someone else's life, so.
Yeah. They ruined the mom and pop stores.
Yeah.
But there's something about going in and trying it on, especially like pants. Like to me, like pants, I can't buy it online. I mean, I have the key, like some you have to.
Yeah, they fit right though.
And then once you know what they are, me and Jack do that a lot. Like, what do you got? What are those? Where do you get those?
You guys probably same length on legs.
Yeah,
sizes actually
pretty
maybe
close. Same length for sure.
Yeah.
The worst is I won't send stuff back. So it's like I got to do my research ahead of time, and then the Costco,
just giving it to somebody.
Like I love these Costco pants, but I have to buy like 2 different sizes and then take one back because it's like
you can't try them on there.
The same color will be a different size, and it's like how is it 34 in this color like actually a 36, and a 34 in this color is actually a 32, and then the same pant.
I did the same thing, dude.
That's crazy.
So you do just buy both.
Yeah, I do.
And then you can return the one that doesn't.
Discount overstock, boys.
Yeah,
that's good.
Because Costco, you don't
stuff
know.
that didn't make the cut. You know what I mean?
You just don't know when those pants are going to sell out.
That's
so
true.
It's like, and they had those really stretchy Carhartt ones in the fall. Those were money, and so I only bought one pair of each color for like $16, and then one of them didn't fit. So I'm like, okay, I'll take them back. It was like 2 days later, and they're all gone of that color.
Yeah.
So
I've been trying to catch, just like you said, you go and your size is gone or whatever.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get the insulated, like the insulated
the Eddie
pant.
Bauer ones.
Yeah, that they have in like August or September or something. They bring them out.
What is there like a fleece or like a?
Yeah, it's like a flannel on the inside.
That the
or
ones you
fleecy.
have?
I wore them all winter. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
have two
remember
pairs.
those. Yeah,
And
they're
had,
cheap
like,
too, right?
And they had
They're
like
50
jean
bucks or
looking
something?
ones, and then
Like
like
$20. Yeah, 15
yeah.
or 20.
Jeez.
And I went in there out of my size when I realized.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, those are really nice. Man, I've like totally switched to those under everything. So like anytime I need insulated pants, like no more fleece, I just wear those because they have like the water resistant stuff on the outside and then the fleece on the inside, and they're like almost the same as the whatever $150 pair of this same brand.
And they fit good.
Yeah, they fit great.
Yeah. So I bought a pair of like Columbia ones that are like that. I paid like $130
Oh
for
yeah,
them.
yeah.
I was like, oh, they just fit good. I tried them on. I was like, you know, if I go somewhere and I'm like, I'm just going to try these on. I like them. But then they fit.
Yeah.
It's like,
You gotta have them.
now I got to buy them. I'm like, because, you know, like you said, you know, I'm always like on the hunt for like the regular length.
Yeah.
Because they got like the 34 regular, the 34 long.
Okay.
I'm like, I know I'm not the long, so that's for like a 6-footer. So I'm like the regular guy. But even the regulars, sometimes they're like, you still got to fold the bottom. You know, because I'm really like a 30 length.
Yeah.
But they're like, the regular's like a 30, like between a 30 and 32.
Yeah.
But it's tough.
Speaking of that, man,
You know.
Kevin at Barney's, his pants
Supposed to
that he
talk
can.
about boots, but
I
we're
know.
going off pants, but-
Yeah, we'll get to the
Yeah,
boots.
you know, rattle a little bit.
He has his pants that he like a hunting pant that he sells that are really nice and great, but he sells them on what do you call that on the bottom when you get it sewed?
Cuff or
Pleated.
No. Anyway, the bottom is not sewed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
They're just long. They're extra
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
So you're supposed to take it somewhere.
get them tailored.
Tailored to your size. There's a certain word for that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, I took it to
Yeah.
the lady, and fuck, man.
She went too short.
Yeah.
They always do.
So now they're like too
Yeah.
short, man. I mean, I could wear them. I'm hoping I can wear
Are
them.
you 30? Are you
Yeah.
34?
I'm 36.
So you
But
might
the
wanna let me
length.
try those
Are you
out.
talking about length?
No waist, because I say you ought to let me try those out if they're too short. Because I could.
They
do
might fit you actually perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to. Yeah, because I've only worn them like once, and I was like, they're too just short, man.
Yeah, that's awful. And
Sucked.
they hem.
Hemmed. Yeah.
They can't re-hem them.
There it is.
Unhem them, rehem them.
Oh, maybe. I didn't think
like
about
like
that.
stitches and
Yeah,
then
Yeah,
start
undo
over.
it and
Yeah, maybe.
put it a little longer. But like you said, it's like the return thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're just in there, and you
Yeah.
think about it, and you forget, and
Yeah.
then maybe just give them to Brandon for Christmas.
There
You can get them rehemmed. They're
I
probably
do
a
want
little
some of those
long for
pants,
you,
though. Yeah.
but they'll be perfect if you just double hem.
Then get them too short too. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
just
man.
turn them into
Just cuff
shorts.
'em.
I gotta get them some.
I'm just gonna turn them into shorts.
With a 36 waist.
Capris.
Dude, Chad be loving those Capri puffies, huh?
Oh, he just puts them right on over, man.
Do you
I
see how
like that.
fast? Like it.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing I was taken back by when we were sheep hunting. You just like slip those things on.
Yeah.
And it was like I'm like breaking my bag down. Got to take my boots off. Put my puffy pants on. I'm like, takes 10 minutes, and he's just like, whoosh.
Yeah. I
Glassing.
don't think
I'm
I
like,
could wear the
oh.
capris, man. I don't know about those.
What are
You gotta
these
be really
Capri?
They're like just below the knee, but they're like
I know
puffy
what a-
pants.
Oh, okay.
They're puffy canis. Canis.
Yeah, they
is
like
the
go
brand.
to, they go to like halfway down your shin. So like if you're wearing a boot and a gator and you just slap them on, then you just have puffy down, like insulating your leg down to like mid shin. So it's like a it's not Capri, but it's got a name. Sika makes them too.
It is a Capri though.
Yeah.
What you're describing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a Capri pant.
Yeah, it is. It is. They're convenient, man, because you can just have your boots and your gear on and just like slap those things on,
Yeah.
and like boom, you got insulation.
And then you wouldn't get them all dirty, like if you had to like
That's the
just
thing too.
bust
Walking
off
through
real
brush
quick.
and stuff, they won't like less likely to tear if you're just kind of walking through like knee high
Yeah.
brush. But-
It seems like a lot to have that and a long pair though. You know.
oh no,
they're
you
like
just bring the Capri ones only.
But I mean, to buy them, they're like $300.
Oh, I have both. Yeah,
For like a
Oh, yeah.
puppy pair of pants.
$600 in
I
puppy
s-
pants.
I still haven't bought a pair because they're so expensive, and I can't. I'm just looking for one to go on sale.
Yeah.
for 5 years.
I know some that are on sale right now for like $240.
Damn, that's a lot. I didn't
That's
pay
so
that
much
for
money,
mine.
dude.
Maybe I did.
Yeah.
I mean, for like a hunting brand one. Yeah. But you can get some like Patagonias and
Yeah,
some
yours
other
are
ones.
nice.
Yeah, but I can't like put them on with my boot on.
Oh,
I
so
gotta
you gotta take your
they're
boot off,
tapered.
Yeah.
And they don't have a zipper.
No.
Oh,
they're
my-
like
oh,
fishing
okay.
waders puffy pants.
Oh, no, yeah.
So
Those
yours
are
are actually down. Mine are synthetic. I think they're mountain hardware ones.
They're synthetic down.
Oh, they are. But mine have a little zip, like a half zip
Yeah.
to the knee, so
Yeah.
you could put them on.
So should we have brought puffy pants in for this podcast?
Yeah, we'll do that later. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you'll have to go get a Capri pair, someone.
But we'll transition because we could just keep going on that because this is supposed to be a boot overview podcast. Speaking of boots, I was like kind of at war with myself when we were prepping for our like ATV side-by-side riding weekend. Like, what was I gonna bring for boots?
Yep.
I normally like my lacrosse knee-high rubber boots, but man, I'm
too
like
hot for
tired
that.
of wearing that, and it was so hot. It wasn't that hot actually out there this weekend, but I thought, man, if I wear these, I'm just gonna have the sweatiest feet and legs.
Yep.
And I was like, man, I'll just risk it. So I rocked some mountain boots with gators.
Oh.
That's what I went with. And I had some like extra tough. I transitioned to those like extra tough booties, you know, like the ankle high.
I've had a really bad experience with those.
Have you?
Yeah,
Where your
like
feet sweat or something?
no, all the guys in the side array need waterproof boots, you know.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah, you wear them for hours on end, right?
Those last for 3 months and they're done.
Which ones?
The extra tough like
Oh,
ankle ones, if you're wearing them every day. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
I can
like,
see that.
wow, like that's worn out that fast. Where like those North Face things that I wore, since 2005 or whatever, they finally worn out this year.
yeah.
So I was kind of disappointed to see that, but I also saw that Grundens like came out with like a heavier duty one. They already had their one, but now they have a heavier
It's
duty one.
insulated too, I think.
Oh, it is. Okay, that's
They
not.
come with. I saw another brand that came out with those too. I want to say Muck did too.
Okay.
Yep.
All the brands now have those like
Yeah.
little. But the original was the
Extra tough.
extra tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
That made that like ankle boot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what they're called. I could probably look it up real quick.
It seems like those boots need to last like 4 or 5 years minimum.
Yeah.
That's how long extra toughs will last. So it's like, why does their little
The mini ones now.
mini one not? Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're thinking if
Efficiency.
you bought like the irrigation boot type ankle, or I mean knee high
Yeah.
classic extra tough like 15 years ago, you think, oh, I could have these for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, fishermen in coastal areas or people that live in coastal areas where it's wet, they'll wear those things 300 days of the year,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they don't last 3 months.
No, my pair that I have now, I mean, they're steel toe ones. I've had them for at least 10 years and they're in great shape.
Yeah, I think it's just the change in like overall mass production of those products versus maybe 10 or 15 years ago. Like the demand and the trend and like the style angle. There's like so
Yeah.
much of them now made versus like there's the good quality boot that they made.
Yeah.
That one boot.
I
You
know
now
that
they
when
make
they-
all these different variations and colors and styles and insulated and insulated. It's just maybe the quality has been compromised a little because of mass production.
When Honeywell owns Extra Tough, and when they sent the production to China, like whatever it was, 2015, you nailed it. Like they sucked. But
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that they there was like a message sent to Honeywell from all of the people that use Extra Toughs, and it seems like the heavier duty boot is better now than it was when it first got sent to China. Probably not as good as it was before, it was sent to China in the first place. But these like little ankle ones seem just a little chintzy.
Yeah.
So they're the extra tough buoy
Okay.
ankle boot. Yeah. So I rocked those on the ride in.
Uh-huh.
So because we were in like the muddy parking lot
Yeah.
and jumped in the side by side and we went riding in, and I was like, well, if I get like stuck and I got to get in some water and my feet get wet, like I got another pair of boots and camp shoes and
Yeah.
I'll deal.
Yeah.
And those like let them dry out or whatever, no big deal. So I was good on the way in, but when we went out Saturday, where we were going to do a little bit more of a hardcore ride without hauling all the camp gear in, I went ahead with like some my Crispies and some OR gators because I thought, I might have to post hole through some snow or
Which
some
we
mud,
did.
which I definitely found that.
I should have brought the gators. When I had to jump out of the wheeler.
That's why I brought mine. I was like, I might wear them, I might not, but I'll have them just in case. And when we got in and the Chad got stuck in the snow that first time, I was like, oh yeah. So the further we go back, I figured there'd be more snow. But let's elaborate a little bit more on that trip, man. That was a fun trip, man. The boys ride?
Yeah, a little boys ride. I think we have enough to put out a little video on it.
Yeah.
If you've been following our Instagram, a few pictures up there. It was just basically a boys ride trip to get out there and test out the gears that we had and the wheelers and do a little howling at the moon and see what the trail's looking like. There was
at the moon, all right.
There's a lot of howling at the moon.
There's only a crescent moon, but we found it.
Yeah. There was a lot of snow on the trail, so we had to do a lot of riding around, detours and all that. Made for a little bit of a slower trail. We didn't go back far at all.
Not as deep as we thought
because the snow and the waters were so high.
Oh yeah.
Those creeks, Flat Creek and Little Nochina and Nochina, they're all raging, dude.
Yeah.
There's
was
no
it
way.
sketch?
Enough where we didn't want to risk it.
Oh, you didn't cross any of them?
No, we did one. We did a couple times.
The one time, and it was
risky.
Yeah, I mean, it was good with the side-by-side, but we had one four-wheeler with us, and he couldn't cross where we went. So we had to do an alternate route, and then we realized, oh, no, we're just going to have to hop this thing. And, I mean, there's just, it was to the point where there was an opportunity if someone were to put their machine in a deep enough hole that you could suck some water. Mm-hmm. And it could make for a really crappy, variable to deal with.
So we saw some ptarmigan, and we saw a beautiful white wolf that was up there by himself. What
was he up to?
He was just chilling up there.
Good question.
I don't know. He was by himself, just kind of bouncing around. It almost looked like he was ptarmigan hunting.
Yeah. Or he was feeding too. He was eating grass.
Yeah.
I was watching him eat.
But he looked very healthy, big, nice big wolf.
You could see him from the naked eye.
I mean, he looked healthier than that scraggly moose that went by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's all we saw. We didn't see any caribou. We didn't see any bears. We saw bear tracks. Ptarmigan and that. But just basically rode and ate and shot some guns. Some of the guys brought out some of their new guns. Did a little target shooting.
Did you guys bring the new gun out?
No, we did we bring it?
No.
We want to get a scope on it still, I think. Dang, you need to though soon.
We get a scope on it and break it in and all that.
We didn't shoot as much as we thought. You just after getting stuck and
I wasn't really in the mood. It
was so hot.
Chad wanted to shoot, and I kind of felt like he was a little disappointed because I know he wanted to shoot more because he was like, "Let's shoot," and I was kind of like, "I'm good." I just wasn't in the. I don't know.
I think after that late night
mood thing, and not intimidated by the firearms because he had that badass tactical 4570 and the blackout, and man, he had some awesome firepower. But I was just like,
"What's a blackout?"
A tactical, the 300 blackout tactical, kind of like an AR platform.
Oh, okay.
But he's got his with the Riker grip, and he's got some. I can't geek out on that shit because I don't know anything about tactical firearms. But his 4570 is that fucking thing, man. It's straight looks like a tactical rifle, lever action.
Yeah.
So it's got the vented barrel and the upper rail, and then he's got the badass red dot scope. It's all tactical style, but then it's lever action with the 300 grain.
Cool.
So it's just the perfect brush gun, close range. I gotta have one. That thing is sweet. One of the coolest guns I've ever seen. I wish I had that. That's what you should take with you on the bear hunt with Jake. Is that gun
over the 375?
Yeah,
that lever action makes it.
Yeah, I mean, if you had some real close, which with Jake, he's going tradbow on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah. And after what we just dealt with, you're going to be close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're probably going to have to, most likely Somebody
bring a cannon.
Cannon.
Maybe borrow Carlos 500. Just blow your arms back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do a
I
rifle.
think it's not fun to shoot, dude.
I'm definitely doing a rifle.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't see a lot of people out there. We saw one other group that these guys had to help. They had a breakdown out there, and then Chad and Kyle went down there and helped them out. And then no one really broke down except on the end. On the way out, one of the guys in our crew went on a super deep hole.
Oh, really?
And his brand new like Polaris XP 1000 whatever crew thing, like the whole back end was just like sunk and got water in there and got water in all over the place, and had to rechange the belt.
He sucked water in the clutch, water in the motor.
Oh yeah.
And these guys had like left like 2 hours
at least
before us, and we caught up to them, and they're like. The whole machine's like broke down, and they're like trying to fix things.
Yeah. Did they have enough oil to dump it?
No. So he had but we were like 5 minutes from the.
Oh, okay.
They broke down literally like 5 minutes before the
couldn't be a
lot.
better spot. Yeah, actually.
So he just kind of rode it there.
Was it like on the main trail to Monument?
Before that, before you make that initial climb, there's all those like beaver ponds.
Yeah.
He just chose a wrong one and had a huge.
It was
hole.
like after Four Corners. Like we were past.
No, it was
Four
right in
Corners.
the beginning. It's literally like right in the beginning.
You could damn near see the highway from where.
Oh man, that's such a bummer.
Yeah, they're almost there.
Well, and what's ironic is when we came in on Friday night, I was just mobbing along, and I was about to just go because everybody was like going around the water. And then me and Daniel went through a couple water holes. Like, dude, they're all shallow. Yeah, it's like we don't just go through them. And I'm bop and cruising, and I go through the hole that he went through, and it's only like 10 feet wide. It's a tiny gap, but it's like it's probably if you stood in it, it's probably up to your chest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like 5 feet deep. It's just like bam, and it just like must be where the water when it thaws, the water just runs and like digs the hole.
Yeah.
So. I'm clipping along. Daniel's recording with the GoPro, and I just about go in it, and I'm like, oh fuck, and I like swerve right, and there's like a little shallower little part to the right that connects to another little body of water, and it's only like a foot deep. And I looked to my left, and I had polarized shades on, because the sun was still hitting us. I looked to the left, and I couldn't see the bottom of that thing. Oh, man. So I was like, oh damn, and I just about went in, and I just at the very last second. Because I remember, Dan, you were like, whoa, because I messed, it was abrupt. I couldn't even warn you. I was just like, oh, shit. And then sure enough, coming back, poor Gary, man, he went and put that big ass 20-foot long side-by-side, like, in it. He said water was coming right in the windshield, like, it was a bummer, man. He's got to take it straight to the shop, get that oil drain. Because it was like
brand new, too.
Chocolate milk in his crankcase, man. Yeah. That's kind of what happens though, man. When you want to go that like route, as far as that game, that level, you want to start going deep backcountry, ATV, like side by side. What is it, Jack? You got the picture of the Honda upside down in the creek.
I always carry 6 extra quarts of oil for that reason. Yeah,
that's a really good point. And a filter,
just drain it out right then. Just get it all out.
One thing from that trip that I really gathered was like, especially going with Chad, he's been doing it for like 6 years, so he's broken lots of stuff, and he's figured out like what his machine needs, and then like what gear he needs, and like seeing how his stuff was suited up, and then Roger had the little traction, little things, and like there was like so much. Everybody had like a little something. Yeah. Snatch, pitch, tow rope. And I have a few things, but I'm like, okay, I need that. Okay, and I need a rack on top so I can put all this shit on the top. Yeah. So, because it's different when you're riding four-wheelers. You can just get out and pull them out. Yeah. Or you three, come on, let's push this four-wheeler out. Yeah. Or roll it over. Yeah. Like a side-by-side's different. It breaks axles and is heavy. So it needs like heavy duty tow ropes and tools and clutches and axles and like I'm not trying to go that deep, but I mean just having some of that equipment is like really critical. So it was a great like learning curve for me. And I've taken my side by side out a few times with the family, but that was a little bit more of a technical-ish ride where I got to test it and kind of test its metal a little bit and figure out like, okay, like I'd need to have some stuff
Yeah.
moving forward, especially take the whole family out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we use like a forum for those Polarises that the other guys at Moose Camp bring in, and they kind of make sure there's like an extra clutch and a bunch of extra stuff for all the different components that other people have broke down or we have before. But that's why I ride before.
yeah, and do all the guys ride the same quad?
Yeah, they all have the same.
So the parts are all interchangeable.
Yeah, it's like a Polaris Ranger.
That's pretty smart. You know, when you think about when you go out with a group, we do that with our Argos at Moose Camp. We like specifically got the second Argo to match the first one. So everything's interchangeable.
Yeah.
Like there's no one part different than anything.
Yeah.
So that we just have this like 80-pound duffel bag of parts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, belt, you know, bolts, pins, you know, rollers, you know, the stuff that you need that you break. And that way when the guy's like, I got the Can-Am, I got the Yamaha, I got the Polaris, like, well, shit, man, my belt don't fit on yours.
Yeah.
My oil won't go in yours. Yeah. Yep. Excuse me.
Well, speaking about the boots, can you hear me good on this one? Yeah. About the same?
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
And those of you that are maybe listening, all this stuff's going to be on our YouTube as well, if you're trying to get a visual on it, but we'll try to explain it as best as we can on audio. And we were talking about bringing the muck boots is what I normally wear when I'm going to go on an ATV ride or something, because you're always in and out of water. But it was so hot.
Knee-high style.
The knee-high style. I decided to bring my Celaways. And these boots I got, these are the Salewa MS Crow GTX boots that I got at REI. They're on sale, and looking online right now, they're $279.95. I think I paid $150 for them at REI. They're like on their whatever sale they have.
Sale, yeah.
Some kind of sale. So these are Gore-Tex waterproof synthetic boots. I normally just use these to go like deer hunting, summertime, like hiking. I wouldn't suggest these to go like on an insane like week-long sheep hunt or anything like that. I don't think they're that durable. They do have the ability to put crampons on. I have really, really wide feet. And that was one of my main concerns with these because they're a little bit narrow. Mm-hmm. But what I did, actually, I wore them the first time when I went with you and Ben and them on that sheep hunt, and it was just pouring rain. So I wore them
deer hunt
on a deer hunt.
Yeah,
and they just got sopped. Yeah. So that synthetic just like formed to my foot with these. Yeah. And they got the Vibram sole, which is like what you want, you know, on a sole. Gore-Tex so that they're waterproof. And I put the super feets in there because of my arches are insane. I'm like St. Louis over here on my feet.
It's full curve,
curve off.
Just because the full curve.
But I really love these boots. For the price that I got them, they're really cheap, and they're great for just like summer hiking. If you're gonna go hiking around in the mountains in Chugach or whatever, deer boot, early season. You know, they're not like the warmest. I think they're like lightly insulated. I want to say
200 gram, I believe, right?
Yeah, you could be right on that.
Yeah.
But these are, you know, perfect for that. I wish I would have brought the gators. And just a quick mention on the gators. I use the QU gators. I want to say they're called Yukon gators. And I know that you've tried a lot of the other gators.
Yeah, I brought them all in today, like 5
Oh, you did? Okay, so maybe you can go into that. I do feel as if the QU ones are one of the top tier ones.
Agreed.
I've had the same gators for like almost 10 years now. And they're legit, dude. All the straps are still working on them. Keeps you pretty much waterproof up to your knee. So these are the Salewa MS Crow GTXs that I use for like summertime, you know, deer hunting stuff, light stuff. You know, it's not going to be freezing.
But they're still pretty heavy duty. They're like
mid-range.
Mid-range, like mountain, like training hiker / like you could definitely do a 80-pound pack weekender, like camping.
Yeah.
And have the ankle stability or ankle support. The traction.
Yeah. So like on Kasugi Ridge or any of these like weekender trips.
Dealing with any shale or sharp rocks. That thing holds up. It's a good bit.
I'll wear these. These are legit. So any of that Salewa stuff, I know this. It's not really a really known brand. They got it REI, and of course you can buy everything online. They've held up. I mean, I don't know exactly how many miles they got on them.
It's a European boot. I want to say like Romanian or something like that.
Yeah, good.
I remember looking into them. But it's a proven boot. It's got the Vibram sole and
they're pretty easy to put on. They got this flex thing. I wouldn't say like the ankle support is like all that great.
Yeah.
It's like a mid-level boot, but enough.
Lower end on stiffness for sure.
Yeah. And really light. They're really light. They're really light. Synthetic.
And when they get wet, right? You mentioned that on the Kasugi a couple of years ago when your feet were wet. You're like, dude, these things.
Yeah, they don't like sop it up. You know. So I really like those. So these are the like kind of mid-range ones, and then these bad boys here. Let me switch the page on this.
So those are Italian.
Saleways are Italian?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they are, okay.
I mean, it makes sense. A lot of these good boots are made in Italy, but maybe they're like made in Romania or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the tag on the tongue says it.
Does it?
Maybe.
Made in Romania, you're right.
Nice.
Man, see?
Wow, look at you.
I don't know, man.
There's a lot of manufacturing in Romania.
Yeah. Well, shout out to them. They made some good boots.
Yeah, they did.
And they're pretty, man. They're like red and black and orange seal. I mean, they're all dirty now.
Really pretty when you bought them at first. You were walking, I was like, damn, what's
I was
up?
stunting on them.
Full mount model? Just
Then you get them dirty and that's it.
I like that.
And the red kind of turns pink.
Yeah. The faded red's good.
Yeah. They look nice.
Yep. They have character.
Yeah, and then these are the my sheep boots. If I'm gonna go on a 10-day or something heavy backpack,
True mountaineering boot.
and these are the Scarpa Fuego boots. These ones also I got on sale. I want to say I got them at the REI like garage sale. There was one previous owner. He must have just like wore them around the house, and then decided he didn't want them. Yeah. So I ended up getting them on sale. I think I want to spend like $199 on them.
Nice.
And online, yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Online they're $389. Now I would suggest these are the Fuegos. There's one step up. I want to say they're called the Wrangler, and that's the one that Cisco and my brother have.
Yeah.
And those ones are Gore-Tex like waterproof. These aren't
okay.
like these don't have the Gore-Tex.
Yeah.
And those the Wrangler one has like the rubber that comes around this heel like that.
Yeah.
So that's like the next step up. But these have been great, dude. Like I've had these for how long, man? Like 8 years. These have been on
our
like
first one.
5 sheep hunts, numerous goat hunts, and I'm still gonna rock them again this year. I mean, the ankle support is amazing, and of course I got the super feet in there. For the high arch.
Yeah, the sole, the Vibram sole still looks really good.
Yeah, it's still, and I mean, like I said, these have been.
They got miles on them.
Yeah, they got a lot of miles on them, and they still got some life in them. I'll probably rock them at least one more year. But I probably would get the Wranglers, the next ones up.
You'll stick with Scarpa too?
I would, because when I went, I tried a bunch on. I know I had the Karakorums before. I've tried several on. And just one bit of advice, like, don't go into a store like specific brand. Yeah. Just go in and try them all on and just see which one really fits your foot, because everyone's foot's a little bit different. But these just fit like, like I said, I had the Karakorums and I tried them and they just weren't for me. They were too narrow. They were too tight. And then once I put on these Scarpa Fuegos, they were legit. And the difference between these and the Wrangler ones is basically Gore-Tex. Yeah. So these are like not waterproof.
Yeah, the Gore-Tex is going to be the liner on the inside. Yep.
But these have been super legit. I would recommend them 100%, and I'm going to rock them again.
Are they insulated?
No. These are not. I think that's what the Wranglers are. These are not.
Yeah, they're 200 gram as well.
Yeah. These are?
No, the Wranglers.
The Wranglers that's the
difference. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
A slight insulation to them. There might be an uninsulated and insulated model.
Okay.
But when they say insulated, it's like just a couple 100 grams.
Yep.
I mean, some like super boot geek could call me out on that, but
and we're not experts, guys. We're not like super boot guys. And I know that this tongue thing comes out right here to loosen up if you want to like adjust the height on that.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know
whatever,
that.
so you can get a little bit more support. And the ankle support, I mean, like I've carried 120-pound pack on this thing for days and days and days.
Yeah, what is that, like a 10-inch?
Ooh, good question.
9-inch maybe?
Yeah, something probably there between 8 and 10. I want to say
really good ankle,
right above the ankle.
Goes kind of the very bottom of your shin when it's all laced up.
Yeah, So these Scarpas have just been amazing, and you could pick them up at REI. I know Barney's has the Wrangler ones. If you're looking to get those. So that's what I've been rocking right there.
Yeah, nice breakdown.
Yeah. So we'll take a quick break real quick, and then we'll get into what Jack's rocking there.
Barney Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. Barney specializes in supplying hunters with the absolute best Alaskan-proven gear on the market for some of nature's most rugged and demanding terrain. Whether you're headed to the remote volcanic islands of the Alaska Peninsula in search of a brown bear, or the shale-infested glacial valleys of the Brooks Range for Dall sheep, it is critical you choose the right gear for your dream hunt. Don't miss Barney's exclusive brand, Frontier Gear of Alaska, tested from the high mountains of Tajikistan to the extreme conditions of Alaska. These products were designed for high performance and durability. Frontier Gear was derived from decades of experience hunting big game in Alaska. Paired with other top brands, it provides you the absolute best gear selection anywhere in the world. Stop in at Barney Sports Chalet in Anchorage on Northern Lights, or check out their custom website and reference tool at barneysports.com.
Arbor Capital. Arbor Capital is based in Anchorage, Alaska, and it's your go-to wealth management company. Arbor Capital is at the forefront of digital assets and cryptocurrencies. If you've been looking to invest your hard-earned money, or you just want to learn more about crypto, blockchain technology, or digital investments, give their website arborcapital.io a visit. What's great about Arbor is they provide a low-cost, transparent, research-based investment strategy for digital assets and traditional investments as well. arborcapital.io is your first step in putting your money to work. Let one of Arbor's investment professionals walk you through your options for financial growth and security. Start investing for the future today at arborcapital.io. Arbor Capital, your Alaska digital asset company.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience. At Total Truck, you can find brands such as ARE, RSI Smart Caps, Goose Gear, iCamper, Front Runner, Rigid Lights, Rhino Linings bed liners, and everything you need to outfit your truck or SUV. Alaska Overlander provides 4x4 vehicles and expedition trailers, custom modified for Alaskan adventures and outfitted with rooftop tents, fridges, and all the camping and cooking gear you need to start exploring. Visit them at alaskaoverlander.com.
Oh, you're up there. Sorry.
Oh, there we
Turn the
go.
volume
We're
up
back. We're back. We should look that up, though. That's kind of a cool little symbol there.
Yeah.
On these
I mean, that's
La
like a-
Sportivas, there's like this like anchor looking thing. Like a
Should look at that.
What is it? Where? Oh, the green?
Yeah, you
Oh, a
see
little,
that
like,
right
oopty-oop
there.
thing?
Oh, that's.
Is that, I thought
Isn't
it
that
was
so
like
you can-
crampons or something.
Oh, I think. Oh, that's where
Oh yeah, all it is reinforcement for this right here.
Oh, so you
This-
when
this
you put the
extra.
strap over the top, reinforces
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
or is that to show that it locks? Remember those Karakorums like locked in that
Well,
bottom part?
that's what it. That part's cool because it keeps the laces from loosening when the like if your knot comes loose on the top, like the boot stays tight or on your foot. We can go into detail when I break my boot down. I know Jack's up, but
yeah, I got one of
it's kinda
those
cool.
too. I like to use it. I always keep it engaged, but the way that it's kind of like threaded in with like almost like a rope instead of the normal stitching, it flows through it a little easy right there. Anyway, so I ran Danners forever. So that's like what we grew up using were Danner boots, and I love Danners. Love them. They break into your foot. They're really good boots. You do everything with. We used to sheep hunt with them, go hunt with them, go hiking in them. But then all the boot companies started making better stuff, so I started to switch. And so in 2006, I switched to from Danner to a solo pair, and it was a lot like your Salewas. It was kind of like their heavy duty trail backpacking boot, which is it was Gore-Tex. I think they still sell it. It was. If we looked it up, we could find it. But I see it at REI still, and it's still like the same gray. But after I got these Scarpas, and so now I use Scarpa
the Grand Drew
GTX.
So yeah, they're Gore-Tex. I got those boots in 2017, and they're super rigid mountaineering boots, but I love them. And everything I do in Alaska has some sort of vertical kind of aspect to it. So I found myself never using the solos at all. So on one of the Kodiak deer hunts, I give them to my brother. So what got me into Scarpa was about 10 years ago, I started, I swapped over to one of their approach shoes, which is called the Scarpa Crux 2 shoe. And I love that shoe. It forms your foot. I've had multiple foot injuries, and I have some atrophy in my right foot, so I'm able to like tighten it where I need it tightened closer to like my toe knuckles.
The orange one here?
Yeah, that orange one right there. Yeah, and so man, love that shoe. It's basically the same shoe from 10 years ago. It's called Crux 2 now instead of the original Crux. So yeah, I finally worn mine out. My toe went out the right side. What do they call that rubber around the toe? Around like the
yeah, that has a name.
Yeah. Anyway, my toe went out that, so I finally bought a new pair this year, and they're really reasonably priced. They're like REI $139. So anyway, I really liked the Scarpa approach shoe. And had heard really good things about the Scarpa boots, and but they were just kind of like outside my price range. I think at the time I bought these, they were $600, and that's just
That's a lot.
it's hard to do for a boot that you've never worn.
They're $499 here online.
Yeah, all right, yeah, so $500. So for anyone looking to buy a boot, but my strategy was find the boot I wanted to wear, and then buy them in November when everything's on sale. So that's what I did. And actually Gideon bought the same boots as me. He still wears them and he loves them. And he's operating at a Kodiak now. But we both got them on sale. So definitely they walk stiff. These boots are ultra stiff. They're a mountaineering boot. So not really cool for like flat ground. That's not mushy. But what I did find is that a lot of the flat ground I walk in is like at the bottom of a mountain or something, and it is mushy, and I don't mind having that really rigid sole. And then what the rigid sole does bring is you'll be throwing in your toes going up some steep shale, and I can just sit parallel to, perpendicular to the mountain with just my toes dug in and effortlessly. So really love that. And then some of the other boots are doing it, but on the big toe side, it's kind of cockeyed to where the sole attaches to the boot, and so you can really like kick in with the inside and hold yourself, so you can see like where these are just like worn in from kicking.
Yeah.
And I love that. So I'll kick in kind of right in front of the big toe or on my inner side of the big toe and just hold myself in steep terrain. Really great.
It's called the toe bumper.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah,
a toe bumper?
The toe bumper is
Love
like that.
the toe bumper.
The wrap around the toe there.
And something about Scarpa's toe bumpers. So mine on the approach shoes lasted 10 years. My toe actually created the first hole through it from the inside.
Oh yeah, they got it on there too.
They don't peel back. And so I've had hockey skates and all kinds of other stuff that have these that they just break down. But
yeah, my Crispies are doing that.
Since 2017, I mean, they're still in damn good shape. I like the suede. I didn't think I would. Thought it wouldn't weather as well, but as long as you keep it, use like a suede oil care, it actually holds up really good, and it's super easy to clean. So I try to take really good care of these boots. So probably 2 or 3 times a year, probably I clean them up really good and re-oil them. The other thing I really like about them is that they have this inner tongue. So this inner tongue prevents it. First is like a snug fit. It makes it easy to get in and out, but it prevents like the snake bite.
The lace bite on your shin.
Yeah. So
oh my goodness, I've had that, and it is really really hard to deal with.
Yeah, it's brutal. So I really like that feature, having this inner tongue, and it makes it much more comfy on the front of your foot as you're walking.
Yeah.
So it's a super comfortable boot. I like hiking in this boot, like just pleasure hiking.
Does the toe part, like mine has a similar, but it has like a Velcro thing there, so it can go up or down?
No, this doesn't.
Okay.
No,
Those look
it's almost like
insulated,
it's
too.
they're 200 grams. So which is enough for everything I do.
I feel like that's like the perfect amount. Because if you get into cooler conditions, you like are wishing you had some insulation.
Just a little bit.
And then if you are hiking and you get hot, you
Yeah.
can just peel your boots off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool your feet off or stick them in a creek or something if you're like really hot conditions.
Yeah, or wear thicker socks when it's cold.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I always feel like I would rather, it's probably a great debate on uninsulated or insulated boot.
Yeah.
Like, what's your preference? And I think that's why they do that 200, because it's like just a little bit.
Yeah.
But it like
Yeah.
versus the pronghorn that's like 800 fill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One
It's
thing I
like-
will say about that is because mine aren't very insulated compared to
Some
the
lighter,
Wrangler.
though.
They're lighter. They dried out faster.
Oh, way faster.
Well, right, because
Because if you're
less
crossing
material.
rivers and you're not like, I just walk mine dry. I don't bring like the over boot. I just go across.
Walk them dry.
Walk them dry. They get walked dried faster.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't do this walk boots dry thing. I don't like that at all. So I don't like wet feet. And so I do everything that I can not to get wet feet. I'll take off boots and cross a river before I do that. That would suck. And these are heavy boots. They weigh 2 pounds. So it's like how much more water, how
Yeah,
much
they're
Oh,
just
they
sunk
would
that
get
much
heavier
really
is the
heavy
boot
if you
gonna
got them
be?
wet.
Yeah, not
You're
gonna
walking
be
them dry
stoked
for
about
days.
that. Yeah, no way.
I'd still do it.
Yeah, and so just like my approach shoes, the laces go really far down towards the toe, and so I'm able to get that my right foot being much smaller and having that atrophy. I'm able to get that toe side, the lower foot real tight on this boot, but still keep the upper part pretty loose. And like Brandon will talk about on his boots, it has like this little strap here that at like your ankle that kind of holds that tightness. So with all round laces, I do the double wrap before my tie, which is important. So then I don't ever
Just learned about that.
Oh yeah,
That's the move.
It's where it's at.
Where you hit the hook twice. Is that what you're talking about?
No. When we grew, everyone would think we're idiots, but so when the shoe tying knot came out, that was a flat lace. So the shoe tying knot that we learned in school or at home is not
like the laces around
is
your
not
like hockey
a
laces you
round
got around
lace.
your sunglasses.
I didn't know that.
Flat.
That
So
makes sense, though.
a round knot is tied differently. So you do the first normal thing.
Can you do it over here?
In front of the camera.
Yeah, so everybody think we're idiots, but yeah. So what? How's the story go? You like go around the tree? I don't know. Anyway, so you do your
I used
normal.
to have a song for my kids. I forgot it.
First little twist around, right? You pull that tight, and then you make your little rabbit ear, and you go around, or bunny ear, whatever. You go around once, and that's normal. But you go around twice. With
With the circle lace?
Yeah, and then you go through, and it will never come undone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Instead
yeah.
of doing it bunny
Yeah.
ear twice,
Yeah.
you just go around twice.
Yeah.
But does it come out just as easy?
Oh yeah, yeah. The same.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Where's the?
So when you go to do the loop around the bunny ear, you go twice.
Yeah.
And then you bring it through.
Oh.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. On the circle lace. That makes sense
Yeah.
because all the original shoes were flat lace.
Yeah. So, and it was actually pretty cool because someone showed me this and I was like, oh my God, this is like in 2005 or something. And then I was visiting my 5-year-old cousins, my cousin's kids. And
Second cousins.
yeah, I guess they would
Yeah.
be second cousins.
Yep.
Yeah. And they're twins, and the girl was on top of her game at 5 and was tying her shoes. And I saw her do the double, and I looked up at her mom, and I was like, "Did you just see that?" And their mom had no clue. So I have no idea how she figured it out. I asked her, why she does that, and
She
she's
got
like,
tired of retying them at recess.
"That's,
so she's
that's
like,
right."
I'm figuring
She
this
figured it
out.
out on her own. But she had round laces.
Smart
It was
kid,
cool.
man.
Yeah.
Would
yeah.
these here be considered flat?
I'd say
compared to
round.
yours?
Those are round laces.
Yeah, they're round. All
Yeah.
of them are round, aren't
Yeah, those are all round. They're just worn.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, all
flattened out.
these, and if you do that, then you don't have to do these like double knots and stuff. Like you can just leave it and you're good. Don't do that with. You can still do it with flat laces too,
And it'll work.
it works better than a single.
Okay.
But it
Maybe
for
for the hockey
these,
skates.
yeah. So that's how I tie my hockey skates too. But anyway, for the insoles, I do think that you should look at doing like a boot insole like you have Smart Feet, Daniel, but I have custom insoles.
Super feet, yeah.
So if you have insurance and you go to a physical therapist, you can ask for that and then get custom insoles, and lots of times your insurance will cover it. Or there's the sheep feet now that are out.
And there's a couple other companies out there doing it. Sheep feet is a good one.
Yeah. So I'm a firm believer in those. So I have 2 pairs of those, and they just swap. So I don't have them in these boots right now because I only have 2 pairs, and they just move between my shoes. The other thing is I really like having a Gore-Tex pair of boots. I just won't go with anything that my feet can get wet in.
Yep, that's one upgrade I definitely would do.
Yeah.
Gore-Tex.
And they're crampon ready.
Full shank.
Yeah. I don't think you can resole these boots. I haven't looked into it yet, but I feel like the sole is going to wear out before the boot. They're so hardy. So I hope they do, or have that flexibility for resoling.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wonder if someone around town does that, or you got to send them in.
I think Boot Country.
Yeah, they did. They do the
Boot
Danners
Country.
for sure there.
Yeah.
So I bet they would do these.
I mean, I imagine they have resources and people they can reach out to, down in the lower states that could. I've heard all these boots are rebuildable, from what I understand. And I kind of was like, that makes sense when you're spending like $350 to $400 or $500-$600 on boots. Because the list on those Scarpas is what? Is that a $500 boot?
Now it is, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$499.
Yeah.
But
I
you're
feel
going
it's
to
the
use them
upper
for
echelon.
years and years and years. Like, how long have you had those?
I got these ones in 2017, and
So
I'll
already
be
5
using,
years.
shit,
I'll
that's
be
really
using
good.
them for a while. Yeah, they held up really well. I mean, I wear these every day at moose camp. I wear them up caribou hunting. I wear them deer hunting. I do.
Oh, you wear them even like whatever. You
Yeah,
don't just,
like
restrict
Kasugi-
those to one thing.
Kasugi Ridge, I would wear them. Like I got
Nice.
rid of the solos because I love these boots.
Wow.
So and I don't mind having
That
the
says a
stiff
lot,
soles.
man.
So yeah. So like if my feet hurt one day and we're going up flat top and I don't want to wear my approach shoes, I wear these. But not mostly the approach shoes.
I'll
Yeah.
look into those for my
Yeah.
next.
They're awesome boots. I really love them. But Gid has got them at the same time, and he's such a lover of them that he got like a lighter pair. It's basically a similar boot from Scarpa, but it's lighter.
Maybe that's like similar to his
hiking.
Sellaway.
Yeah,
maybe like that, like mid-range,
Yeah.
not so heavy duty.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of boot to wear like on a day hike.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's like serious business right there.
Yeah. And that's what those approach shoes are for. Like I just love the approach shoes. So I'm kind of gone Scarpa. But I've had all the other boots too. Just for me, they fit really well.
Yeah.
And they hold up. So
Yeah, it matters.
Oh, I will say though, I think the other important thing is I'm a sandal guy, and I swear by Chacos. So because Chacos have the good soles, good grippy soles, and so those are like kind of my 3 things. I got Chaco sandals, the Scarpa approach, and then these guys.
Right on.
Feet love them.
Yep.
Yeah. And Scarpas are also Italian made, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
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 So
And they're
those are
just
the-
all up in those boots, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
They make awesome ski boots too.
I bet.
Oh, Scarpa does?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't have any pairs of those, but they're a little out
Those
of
are
price range.
$1,200.
Yeah.
But I wear Razzies.
You like looking at them in the catalog?
Yeah, but no, you just see it, and now they have like that functionality where you can unclick, so your boot rotates as you walk.
Yeah.
So it's like walking in shoes. You're not in this like stiff boot.
Yeah.
For a mere $1,500?
Yeah, they're pretty
Yeah.
too. Like looking at these Scarpas, they're $949.
Oh yeah,
That's intense.
Yeah.
It's next level.
And I was
Yeah,
happy
mountaineering.
that they actually came up with like a muted color, because most of the Scarpas are like that, and I
Yeah.
don't like wearing like these
The
boots
bright-
that are showy.
Like these yellow super brights.
Yeah, or the blue ones,
Yeah.
or those are solos.
Those are solos.
Yeah, so I was
That's
glad.
a beautiful boot, though.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Yeah. All right. We'll take a break and we'll come back
Yeah.
and hear what B's working with.
The Treehouse AK, your one-stop dispensary located at 341 Boniface Parkway. Be sure to ask the bud tender about their deal of the day, because honestly, there's always something good on deck. And guys, listen, this is where the culture lives. At the Treehouse, their dedication to servicing consumers has been developed through a lifetime of involvement in the cannabis culture. They're committed to providing the highest quality products at whatever value your budget affords, while always maintaining the deep-rooted principles that have carried them this far. Their focus is on relationships over transactions, and you can always depend on them to treat you with the respect you deserve. Hit them up at thetreehouseak.com, and remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store.
Tailored Restoration, 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Tailored has an emergency response number with trained professionals available to help you at any time, day or night. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Make an appointment today at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Since 2008, Serrano's is Anchorage's own new generation of old cocina. Their menu showcases the passion and love of their rich heritage and unique family recipes that have been passed down through the generations. Serrano's goal is to embrace and display trad flavors using the best ingredients that are available. They focus on making everything from scratch daily. In-house menu includes handcrafted corn tortillas, salsas, carne asada, and chorizo. But don't take their word for it. Experience their tradition and sabor for yourself. Locations on Tudor and Northern Lights, both with new tequila bars. Check out their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
The Connoisseur Lounge, located in the heart of Palmer, Alaska. The Connoisseur Lounge is Palmer's first locally owned and operated cannabis retailer. Their beautiful store is located at 226 Evergreen Avenue. The Connoisseur Lounge has exclusive cannabis products such as Snowcap Romance, Aurora Haze, Super Glue, and one of our favorites, Sugar Cookies. And if you're not into the flower, the Connoisseur can hook you up with edibles, vape supplies, and a ton of CBD options for all your health and inflammation needs. Check out their daily deals at theconnoisseurlounge.net, or even better, stop by the lounge today. Remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store.
All right, B.
We're back.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I was gonna kind of shift the angle a little bit on my breakdown. It's more of like an evolution of mountain boot.
Mm-hmm.
So where I kind of started and then transitioned, and then where I'm at now, and then what my new search is for the next boot. So some might criticize me for Daniel, can you hear me my cider by chance?
Yeah.
Some might criticize me for because I'm kind of classic, the guy that you could just buy once, cry once, and buy the really good quality, highly reviewed piece of equipment once and spend shit tons of money instead of buying 3 or 4 things that end up adding up to what that one thing would have cost you.
The Kirby deal.
Yeah. And so I have little personal battles with I've bought couple 2 or 3 spotting scopes that had I just bought the really, really nice one, I'd have the really, really nice one by now.
Yeah.
But as it pertains to boots and tents and bags and fishing poles and just different things, I feel it'd be great to just swipe the credit card or take the cash you saved up and go buy that high dollar thing and just be done. But I like to try gear and test gear, and I what I really love to do is find things that are not expensive, that perform really, really well, but they don't break the bank, but they go toe to toe with that badass shit. Yeah. And you don't find that in everything.
Yeah.
Some things are that was a dud, and some things you're man, I got this cheap thing, this $20 pair of pants from Costco, and they go toe to toe with the $300.
Yeah.
So every once in a while you find that, and it's just worth it.
Yeah.
It's see, this is my style. So my evolution of boots is balling on a budget, right? So I started mountain hunting late in life because, number one, it's an expensive hobby. I didn't get brought up doing it. I didn't have partners or buddies that did it, so I didn't have any like support until I found my group that got me into it.
Yeah.
Cisco, Daniel, they were kind of the catalyst for it. And so, as I started getting heavy into hunting, I would purchase things, and it was like, man, I got to buy this, that, and the other. So it was like always kind of like picking and choosing what I spent a lot of money on and what I went cheap on. So my first pair of like real deal hunting boots was what I'm pretty sure is a lot of guys like starter first boot. I think even Kevin Dana mentioned it when he was here on the podcast, and it was just like, it hit close to my heart. He's like, you could just start out and get the Danner Pronghorns. I'm like, oh shit, that was me.
Yeah.
They're $199.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever gets you in there.
No. I mean, went to Army Navy.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't go to REI. I didn't go to AMH. I didn't go to, the boutique, badass Gucci mountaineering store, which they got all the good stuff. Yeah. I went to Army Navy, which has good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like they got the really low end and they got the really high end and they got the in between. Yeah. And I'm like the in between. So, Danner Pronghorns, got them on sale. Got them for like $169 even.
Nice.
And tried them on, and I'm like, I'm going moose hunting. So I'm not going in the mountains. I'm not doing anything rugged. I just want like some good ankle support. So I get the Pronghorns, and the Pronghorns have like this ridiculous, like I want to say 11-inch high ankle. Yeah. Like they're a little too tall. Like I thought this was what I needed. Yeah. But then I realized later, like I don't need to put a cast on. I just need some good ankle support because I have really, really bad ankles. So go with the Pronghorns, first moose hunt. It was a really, really unusual season that year. It got really cold. It snowed. It froze. And when these boots get wet, they freeze like a ice cube.
Oh, yeah.
And this 800 gram of
thinsulate
in here is just basically an ice cube you keep slipping your foot in each and every day. They don't really walk dry real good. Yeah. So again, not a little bit on the naive side, on a budget. Yeah. Danner's a brand. Yeah, Danner's a very reputable brand. My brother's got some logging boots that are like some, I think even Cisco's got them. I won't say the first word, but they're some, I won't say any words about what he names those boots, but anyway, they're like, they almost go up to his knee. They're like lace up, almost up. So these ones are a little bit more hunting style. Those are like logger, protect your shin from your chainsaw type stuff. So, this boot offers ankle support. It's got insulation, great construction, stitching. It's got the toe, what do we call it? The toe guard.
Yeah, toe guard.
Toe guard. I just
toe guard.
I got it written down over there in my notes. But anyway, so beginning of evolution for Brandon and his boots, Danner Pronghorn, 800 fill, $200 boot, awesome traction, 2 moose hunts, a sheep hunt with them.
You brought those on the sheep hunt?
2 sheep hunts. I did the Kenai and the Brooks.
Oh, really?
2 years back to back with these. And
the bottom still looks legit.
I know, right? Like, I mean, they're not like terribly
their own
destroyed.
That's their own soul, right?
That's their own soul. This isn't a Vibram. This is
just
Danner's. This is their patent pending TerraForce sole.
Do like some of their higher end boots have the Vibram?
I couldn't tell you. I went from this boot, I went to the more mountaineering branded boots, but I wanted to make sure I gave this boot enough run to tell the guy like me, or the guy that's just very, very frugal, this boot will do everything you need it to do. You don't need a La Sportiva, you don't need a Scarpa, you don't need a Laua, you don't need a Zamberlin, a Scarpa. This boot right here will go every single place you ever want to go. Yeah. It gets a little heavy when it's wet. It's very cold when it's wet. Awesome traction, kind of a waffle stomper, holds a lot of mud and snow. So like when you're stepping,
stomper?
Yeah, I call it like a waffle stomper.
Brings the dough up.
Yeah, like a waffle machine. It just like sticks in the little crevasses. It like holds stuff. Versus the Vibram where it kind of like sheds it. Got it. So I'll find when I'm like I'm all of a sudden like on boots, I'm packing. All of a sudden, like, damn, my feet just got heavy, and you're just packing mud and like stuff, and you got to kind of like kick your feet together and kind of break it loose. So, just a few things that were caveats to the boot, but want to make sure this boot gets enough run. 800 gram insulated, thin slit, not the greatest. Gore-Tex, somewhat waterproof. Great boot. I mean, that is just like you don't actually need anything more than that. That thing just gets it done. You know,
great introductory boot.
I mean, and Kevin mentioned it too. Kevin Dana of Barney Sports Chalet mentioned the same thing. Like when I first went into his store and I was looking at all the First Light and the Sitka and all the stuff, and and he's like, I'm like, yeah, I got the Helly Hansen ring gear. He's like, that works. I'm like, yeah, but it's like heavy and rubber. He's like, what were guys using before all this shit came out? Yeah. I'm like, well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But there's better stuff. Yeah. He's like, I know. I'm just trying to help you save some money. So it was just funny when he mentioned the pronghorn thing. So I'm like, damn, I think that's like every kind of hunter's entry level. Started with Danners, or whatever, because that's what Dad wore or Uncle whoever wore. So Danner Pronghorns, great boot. Check them out if you're balling on a budget. You're not trying to go with the Gucci stuff. Great boot. So round 3. So third mountain sheep hunt. I thought, I'm going to get some like mountaineering boots. Again, started looking at prices. I'm like, man, like I'm going to go shop around and let the boot find me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, that could be like $500 or $600 endeavor. I'm like, I don't know if I'm quite at that level yet. So cruising around in one of the coolest outlet stores in town, Hoarding Marmot. Mm-hmm. Love Hoarding Marmot.
Yeah. I stopped in there today.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I've been there.
Looking for the teepee, man. Hopefully they have it.
The diamond? The black diamond?
They
had them for a while.
I know. When I go in there, they don't.
Yeah, of course not.
So they had used ones?
Yeah, they'll have even brand new ones sometimes. Like people use it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I think they're actual vendors for the brand, so they can actually like sell retail new stuff too. So I've seen like new stuff.
Yeah, they have new stuff too.
Yeah, so much like Daniel's previous story where he found his Scarpas at, I think, REI or something like that, I just did my little weekly drift or whatever I did, or bi-weekly drift through Hoarding Marmot. My daughter had hockey practice at Dempsey. So I'd go drop her off on a Sunday afternoon, and I'd be like, I'm going to go to Hoarding Marmot and see if I can find something. Yeah. So I drift in there, and because, I'm very, for the record, I'm very frugal when it comes to hunting gear, because I like to buy multiple things. So I need to buy it for a good price, right? Like I can't buy the $600 pair of boots. I'll buy $200 or $300 pair of boots. So anyway, so I'm drifting through there, come across La Sportiva, great brand. Our hunting partner Cisco had some really nice La Sportivas that he was rocking for a couple of years. Looked into them, like, oh, that's a really reputable Italian boot. So I'm cruising through. I come across these Karakorums, and they look brand new. And I'm like, damn, these things are like clean. So I walk up, I'm like, hey, these look like new. Are they used? She's like, the guy tried them on and didn't like them and brought them in here. I'm like, great. They've never even got, didn't touch dirt. Yeah. And I want to say they were like, at the time, I think I got them for $199. They're like a $320 or $330 boot or something like that. So I'm like, oh man, the price is good. They're La Sportivas. This has got to work, right? But the ankle is a little short, right? Like compared to what I was rocking on the Danner. Like so I was kind of like
6 inches.
No, I want to say that these guys right here are like a 10. I think that's like 8.
These are 10.
But this is a 9. That's a 6. Just kind of guessing. I think that's a 7.
Yeah.
So we could probably do a quick spec on that. Anyway, so throw them on. I'm like, ooh, these are stiff, and my foot's wide. And immediately my foot was like, nah, like these ain't the ones. But my pocketbook was like, well, I can maybe break them in, or, you know. And if anybody knows anything about mountaineering boots, they don't break in. Your foot breaks into the boot. Yeah. All right? It's like.
Well, just really quick, those were the first ones I bought, and I took them up on.
You never actually rocked them on a hunt, though.
No, I didn't, because I took them up on somewhere, flat top or somewhere, and then after that, I was like, there's no way I could do like a long hunt with these.
Yeah. Oh, they're gnarly.
So I went and took them back. Yeah.
Yeah, so what I kind of like, my overall assessment, not to jump too far ahead on this particular boot, because I'm La Sportiva is an amazing brand, builds a lot of beautiful products. These boot, I felt like is like the entry level mountaineering boot that you can like build up to the 500 range, the 600, 7,000, where you can start getting into like the Mount Everest type shit. But these were, like they're basic. This is what La Sportiva builds in a structural, strong, stiff boot. And I started doing some like research, and I was like, man, there's like guys that went over to Afghanistan, and it's like really rugged shit. Took them on multiple tours with heavy packs. I read on guys that were hunting with them, guys that were hiking with them. I'm like, all right, well they get around and they perform, so I'll give it a chance. And structurally, it's actually a really, really well built boot. As far as like the laces, the suede, the leather. I mean, it's real.
It's real stiff.
Real, very stiff boot. Not a very comfortable boot for a guy with a wide foot.
That was my problem with it.
Yeah, so I like really, really, really struggled with this boot initially. So I put a lot of miles on them. I hiked flat top like 15 times. I wore a pack. I was wearing them on camping trips. I purposely went and got them like soaked and walked around for them in a couple of miles on a day, and just was like trying to break these boots in, and just never really could get them quite broke in until we went to the Brooks. And we did like, I don't know, man. I think we like clocked like 75 miles on that hunt total in the mountains. And it was like the end of the trip, they finally started getting comfortable. But again, this boot was really a great transition from that like Danner hunting boot to a mountaineering boot, and learning what your foot likes, what the boot does in terms of traction, stiffness. It's really got this really badass lace lock where it like,
I did like that about those.
When you pull it tight, this this loop locks down, so it pinches your laces over. And back to those Danners real quick. I got the worst lace bite of my life with those right here in this section.
Yeah, you could see that.
Yeah, and I realized later I was just snugging them up way too tight right there, whereas I could lace them tight, leave that lace loose, and then go tight again and leave that like section.
Yeah,
I just
hot tip, skip the lace. Skip that lace.
Yeah, or just let that one be loose and then tighten it above it.
Yeah.
So you can go tight, loose, tight. You can like factor it up, because where I really needed the ankle support was up here, not in the top of my ankle, because what happened is I got lace bite so bad that it dug in and actually made a blister.
Yeah.
Dug into the skin, dug into the tissue, but it actually was rubbing so deep that a week after the sheep hunt, I could barely walk because of the depth of the tissue pain. I
is that why you have a wood leg?
Bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was, and I actually went in, like into detail and like researched lace bite and found a movie called Lace Bite. These women played like a hockey.
I was just gonna say it's gotta be a hockey.
It was like these all women. They all went to this rink and they played like a. Don't quote me on this. Somebody Google it, but it's a like a. 72-hour straight hockey game or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Or maybe it was only 24 hours. I might have been over exaggerating it. But the girls just played in rotation. They had motorhomes outside of the rink, and they would like go in and get a nap and come back in and get back in the game.
Yeah.
They just played this game. It was for like a cause, like a cancer awareness or something like that.
Sounds like Homer.
But the point of it was called lace bite because the women suffered unbelievable lace bite from all the hours they spent on their skates.
Yeah, I bet.
And so when I watched their little documentary for a little bit and like read into it, I'm like, oh my God, like lace bite's a real thing. And like, you got to really be careful, especially if you're a guide or something like that.
Yeah.
Like if you're guiding and you did that to yourself, you'd be out of commission for a couple of days. I mean, it hurts that bad.
Done. You have to skip
You got to ice it
games.
and like, I mean, it's really bad. So
they sell like even like little pads, like little like gel pads that you stick in there.
Well,
for hockey skates.
I was taping my ankle, and like I started taping my ankle because I was like when I got these boots, I was throwing like that tape strip over because I was kind of worried about it. But I did not experience that problem because you can see with this boot, it's got this like optional lace right here. So I would skip that and just go straight to this one and keep this gap.
You don't even use it.
Right. Yeah. So I would just leave that alone and keep that part open, and then I have my ankle support and foot tight, and it never had the lace bite thing. So
I
that
like
was a huge
using
relief.
that one, but I don't keep it tight there.
Yeah, so you can just not snug it.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing I learned about mountaineering boots. You don't have to like I just thought like football cleats. You just like, you got those damn things tight. Like I wanted to be like running around in a cast. So if I want to make a cut, my ankle didn't bend.
My rule for the mountaineering boots is that you put the boot on snug where it fits nice. You walk for, you kick your heel in and you walk for 5 minutes and retie your boots.
Yep.
That's what I do with the skates. I'll warm up and then
retie.
I'll go in and sit before the game and retighten them.
Yeah, you can't like put them on and think like you're going to go do some rugged shit for 8 hours and stuff's not going to move or shift or change.
Especially when they have the deep heel box, you know. And most
heel box, that's technical.
You know, I don't know about that, but
yeah. So La Sportiva Karakorum, again, in my opinion, a great entry level mountaineering boot.
But
not terribly expensive.
Not for the narrow foot though.
No, I mean, no. It's for the narrow foot.
I mean, for the narrow foot.
Or average foot. But once you start like having where you realize like you have a little bit of a wider.
I have a wide foot, I understand.
Yeah. Like I'm not quite like the W wide or what do they call that? Like the 10W or the 10F or something. Like there's like a
X dub.
I'm not quite. Yeah.
And like hockey skates, I have to wear wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, because hockey skates don't really stretch much. Like these things, they don't really give a lot. And my feet will blow the outer stitch of a shoe out on the right and left outer side. So, but all in all, like I was going to take these back to Hoarding Marmot after a couple of years of use, and I was like, I'll just sell them to the next guy who's looking for a really inexpensive pair of boots. I don't care what I get for them. I just want to see them move on to the next guy. But I was like, I just want to keep them just in case I got like lace blows out on this one. I got these. I don't know. I just like kind of accumulating gear and keeping it. I'm a hoarder in that way.
Yeah.
So
the other interesting thing about that mountaineering boot is that it has a really wide heel. And
great point.
I really like narrow heels on mountaineering boots. I feel like you don't bust as many, like, twist as many ankles and stuff like that. And then you dig deeper into the things you need to dig in with a heel.
Yep.
So it's surprising to see like such a narrow front, but then a wide heel.
Yeah. I think that's like an evolution of the boots, because when you look at these like Saleways and stuff, it's so narrow on that back part. Yeah. Like the actual boot part compared to the sole like sticks out above it.
Yeah, this one
and that's for those narrow shell, like dig in just a little piece is all you need to cling on to that side of that mountain.
And it prevents you from turning ankles.
Yeah. Yep. Those soles on those are gnarly. The one thing that was really, really cool about these was, and I kind of judge a boot majorly off a side hill on shale. Oh, yeah. Like I want to just be able to dig and like walk with my leg like this, just digging in as if I'm walking straight.
Yep.
Billy Goat style, where you're like almost creating a flat path on an angle. Yeah. And these boots just like never ever did I ever waver or not have confidence that the boot would stick.
Yeah.
It just always stuck in. And so that was one thing, like I was able to mentally go, okay, like my foot's a little bit sore. There's a little bit of discomfort. This thing does not fit just right, but it's just performing. It's digging in. There's good traction. It's like gets soaked. It doesn't get super heavy. Again, not to like just go too crazy into this. And I like that we're not doing a gear review. It's more of an overview. So we're not going specs. We're not going weights. We're not doing any of that like, technical stuff. You can look all that shit up and geek out. This is just like dudes putting the shit on their feet and going out in the field and using it and telling you how it does. Yep. And I would recommend this boot to anybody who is saying, hey, I want to try a mountaineering boot, but I don't want to break the bank. I would say give these a try. If you have super wide foot, you might want to reconsider, some more in-depth research on like a specific width or like a variation in what the boot offers. I don't necessarily think that these Karakorums come with like a wide option. Don't know that for sure, but
and those are like old. Like those have been around a while.
They're like one of their older models. Like this is not like, they just came out in 2018. They've been around for like 10 plus years or more probably. This is, I think, kind of like I thought this was like their first like badass boot, and then they've like built from that. I could be wrong, but wonderful boot. Would recommend them to anybody. Just kind of decided after a couple seasons with those, I was like, I need something that's like comfortable. Yeah, I need to move on to that. So as we move on,
switch those up to the front there in front of those.
Good call. So now I'm like ready to go next level. maybe more Gucci branded, even though La Sportiva is right there with everything. I was hearing about Crispi, man. Crispi. Crispi's like the new, really, really popular brand mountaineering hunting boots. Very, very popular in the Midwest, and got super excited about them. Found a pair for very inexpensive, got them for a deal, and thought, I'll give them a shot. Because the one thing I read about Crispi's, and I still read them to this day, is like, there's almost no break-in in the damn things.
Oh, they're comfortable.
You just put the boot on and you go, and it's like, wow, I'm not getting blisters and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I really, really wanted the upper level of this Crispi Briksdal GTX. It's a black and orange boot, so it's like the one level up in stiffness. But I thought, well, this one's less expensive, and again, being kind of frugal and balling on a budget. I was like, it's still Crispi. It's a good boot. Tons of good ratings. But I was like, I don't know, man. Is this like a true mountaineering boot or really just like a glorified hiking boot?
Yeah.
It's kind of what I question. But I went for it. And so I've rocked these now for 3 years total.
Made in Italy, too.
Yeah, Crispi's, man, Crispi's are wonderful, man. They're badass boots. Handcrafted, built in Italy. Like La Sportiva, like Scarpa,
Salaway.
Lau,
those are Romania.
Well, built in Romania.
Shout out to Haji.
So threw the Crispi's on, went for my first hike at Flat Top, and I'm like, oh my God, these are like hiking boots. Because I did the Kasugi hike with those Karakorums in like 90 degrees, and that was bad. It was super gnarly. First time I got blisters. I mean, my feet were just so hot. I was getting my feet wet on purpose because my feet were so hot, Yeah. So I go to this Crispi boot and the Briksdal, and I think this is one of my popular models. And rewinding real quick back to La Sportivas, I did end up putting super feet in those, which made a huge difference in overall comfort, and realized like I got to put super feet in everything.
Yeah.
So I slip a set of super feet in these Crispis first right out of the gate. Didn't even walk with them with the stock sole. I just slipped them in there, trimmed them, slipped them in there, and went and did a full summer of training with these, and was absolutely in love with them, and was like, oh, I found my boot.
Yeah.
Well, I've really enjoyed these boots. They've been good boots. However, they have broke down.
Seems like they get worn.
Yeah, like I was pretty surprised after the first season. The Vibram sole had worn down almost maybe a third.
Yeah.
As you guys can see, the sole is pretty well worn out.
Totally.
And so I was looking at this boot. One other main issue, I'm not going to sit here and beat up Crispi boots. I'm just showing you, telling you the abuse that I put on this particular boot, and then where the breakdowns were, and why, if I was going to replace them with another set of Crispis, I would just get the upgraded, stouter, more built version of the boot. Their lace rings or whatever those called, they just eat the laces.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like not a waxed lace or anything. It's just there. It just, you can see my lace is frayed.
Yeah.
Really, really bad. Yeah. So I had to kind of like rotate them and kind of do some weird stuff. So I started to notice that, and I was like, well, I can get some new laces, no big deal. But then I started having some of the toe
plastic part, or
peeling
that rubbery.
Away. Yeah. You see that, Daniel?
Yeah.
Starting to break away on some of the seams. Kind of.
I wonder if that's a glue thing.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's kind of a bummer, but again, this like unbelievable comfort, 200 gram insulated model,
Gore-Tex,
full Gore-Tex.
Yeah.
However, my right foot never gets wet. Left foot soaked every time. So there's some sort of a break in this boot, the left boot's Gore-Tex seam somewhere.
Yeah.
And these are, if you put these boots in your hand, they're very light.
Let me feel that.
Like this isn't like.
Oh yeah.
Now take a Karakorum. Like take that boot. Right.
That thing's a tank.
Yeah, and then so what I realized is that I didn't select the most rugged boot for longevity in the mountains. All right, this is probably a phenomenal Midwest. Not to take anything away from the boys in Utah and Colorado and Montana and then on all the mountain hunting they're doing, because I've never done it and I don't know exactly what their terrain is like. But I feel like that this boot is built for that. versus the shale in the Wrangles and the Brooks Range and some of that really nasty. Yeah. We hike a creek for 12 miles before we even start climbing elevation, and it's just on jagged rocks for miles on end, and that just eats boots alive. So you really got to have a rugged, tough, soled boot. It's getting wet, it's drying, getting wet and drying and stretching, and carrying mega heavy loads all the time. So just really, if you're going to wear a boot out, like that's a place to take it. And so what I found is like this is probably an amazing weekend warrior bow hunter for pronghorns or climbing up in the elevation for elk and in the some of those upper elevations in the Rockies and stuff, which I'm sure has got some really gnarly shit too. But just feels like the Alaskan, really, really rugged Alaskan terrain in the mountains is a little bit too much for this particular boot. Yeah. So I'll upgrade, but like all in all, as far as comfort, performance, lightweight, traction with the Vibram sole.
Well, I will say,
great
just
boot.
to jump in, it seems like Crispi has covered the levels up for finance and level of like. So if you're looking to get into a $300 boot, they got that. But if you want to have something that's going to last a little longer, you can get the $500 or the $700.
Yeah, they don't start at the $500 boot or.
Yeah.
And this is not like let's get it straight. This is a hunting boot. This is a mountaineering boot. Those Scarpas are like a mountaineering hunting boot. These are hunting boots. These are mountaineering boots. They're built for climbing and crampons and like ice and cold, and they're incredibly rugged built. These Crispis they're not mountaineering boots. They're hunting boots. So I just think that I didn't give these boots a fair shake in terms of the abuse that I put on them to judge them in a way that's like, these boots are trash. Like, no, they're not trash. They're really, really great boots. Yeah. I just put them above and beyond what they're actually built to do. And now I know that. Yeah. And so I'll still rock some Crispis and try their Briksdal, their next level or whatever they may have. Or
can you pull that one up, Daniel?
The orange one you said?
The one that's like
just pull up the Crispi Briksdal and then you can see the different options. There's the GTX.
So you think you'll do Crispi next time?
These ones here?
Yes. Whoa. Yeah, those ones are pretty nasty. That's a similar boot. Different color. See, that's the SF is the stiff flex.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're like $50 to $100 more or something like that. However, it still has the same lace loops. It still has the same toe guard. It still has the same sole. It's a little stiffer. So I'm not sure that necessarily will hold up to the extreme that I'm talking about, but the comfort factor is pretty hard to beat. Although I did get blisters for the first time in those boots. Oh, I did. When they got really, really, really wet, that left foot that I was talking about, I did end up getting some blisters, but I just think it was because I didn't tie the boot tight enough and it was wet. It was a culmination of things. I think it was more operator error on that part. Just because I got a little too comfortable with my boot being kind of loosely laced. So I let that get the best of me. But I thought it would be fun to explain more of an evolution of boots versus like, I like this brand or I go, not that what you guys did, like you had two different brands. Jack was great. He came through with one boot, which
I'd like to move into one.
Oh, me too. These take up a lot of real estate on your boot rack at home.
Well, like I was saying, I had the solos and Danners before that, but I don't need them anymore. So, I give them away. I'm not going to use them.
Well, you're minimalist. You don't need 3 pairs of mountaineering boots on your shelf in your garage, right?
Yeah. Well, if we lived in a place where we weren't as vertical as we were, then I would have that mid-range boot for sure.
Yeah, but this fits the build on like everything you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think there's a lot of guys out there or gals that would listen to this show and be like, oh man, I can totally relate. Yeah. Like I started here and went there and I went with North Face and they went with some lesser rugged boot and then they moved into something heavy and now they're rocking a $600 or $700 pair of badass boots that they live and die by. Which I'm kind of ready for that next, I'm ready to get that bad boy boot that I'd like to be like, man, I've been rocking this for 5 years.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm like, Danners, 3 years. La Sportiva is really still holding up, very rugged, ready to still go. Not that comfortable, just keeping them for nostalgia. Crispies, these are blasted. Those are done. Like, these aren't going on another sheep hunt. They're just like
Oh, so you're
hiking
getting
boots.
a new pair this year.
That was my plan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking like, oh, new pack, new this. I was like, I'll go for boots. So I'd like to get them soon so I can start breaking them in. But I thought it was fun to share like the evolution of the
That was
boot.
great.
And I mean, again, they're not all the highest end. And I know that the evolution of technology in boots has changed a lot in the last like even 5 years. I mean, you look at like Laua, Zamberlan, Handwag, like La Sportiva, Scarpa. I mean, they all make a really beautiful, badass boot. So it's like now the pool's like, whoa, we got a lot to choose from.
I did in 2012. I switched to Zamberlans for one hunt, but they were Gore-Tex and they totally got wet, and so I took them back.
Yep, we're feeling it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, that kind of wraps up the boot deal there. And if anybody has any questions on any of these boots, feel free to shoot us a message or whatever, and we'll fill you in on that. But I think, like we said before, the best advice is don't go in with, I want this brand or this exact boot. Go in there willing to try them all on. Go see Kevin. Go see one of the guys at REI or wherever you go. And try them all on and just see what fits your foot. The boot.
That's right.
Fits your boot the first.
But Barney's has a phenomenal selection that I didn't even know. Like I've gone in there and glanced at their boots, and Barney's is a sponsor, so I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, they're a sponsor, so I'm like gassing this up. I'm being real and telling you they have like 4 or 5 premier brands, so you're going to find the boot for your foot. And I say that the boot finds your foot.
Yeah.
Your foot doesn't find the boot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so you might go in there like, I want Scarpas. And you're going to walk out of there with some Crispies.
Yeah.
Or you're going to walk out of there with some hand wags. Like, your foot, the boot will decide what likes your foot. And I would say go check them out because, number one, his stock is heavy. So anybody that's coming up for a hunt that doesn't have boots and wants something, check them out. Or anybody that's in the market. Or if you're just kind of curious or interested in how the whole boot fitting thing works, Kevin and his boys, they have a wall of premier branded boots, and you'll find the one you're looking for.
Yep.
Yeah, they have an amazing selection right now.
Yep.
Amazing.
Good. Yep. So support those guys, and feel free to hit us up if you have any questions.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yep.
love to answer anything.
Yep. Thank you, Alaska. Stay wild.
You'll remember my speaking to you of what I call your overcautiousness. Are you not overcautious when you assume that you cannot do what the enemy is constantly doing?
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Arbor Digital, the forefront of digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and wealth management, providing a low-cost, research-based investment strategy for Alaskans looking to invest their hard-earned money. Visit arborcapital.io today to put your money to work.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
Serrano's Mexican Grill, 2 locations, one on Tudor, one on Northern Lights. The Northern Lights location has their new tequila bar. Check it out. Also see their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
The Connoisseur Lounge, Alaska's premier locally owned and operated cannabis retailer, located in the heart of Palmer, Alaska. Their cultivated products include Snowcap Romance, Aurora Haze, Super Glue, and much more. Find them at theconnoisseurlounge.net.
AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO.
Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They are the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Anchortown Dogs, located on 4th Avenue across from the old 4th Avenue Theater. Look for the blue and gold umbrella. From reindeer dogs to bomb euros, they've got you covered. Anchortown Dogs, your local gourmet hot dog and sausage cart.
Crude Magazine, Alaska-based media outlet using the last frontier as a springboard to discover larger truths about the cultures of our great state. Read more at crudemag.com.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include snow and ice management, weekly lawn care, and more. Get your free estimate today at lawnproak.com.
Double Shovel Cider Company, located off of Arctic and 58th. Handcrafted Alaskan-made colonial ciders. They also have a tap room downtown on the corner of 5th and E. Stop by today and taste an award-winning cider.
Lady with a Plan, your own Alaska event planner. From scouting the perfect location to planning the tiniest details, specializing in event management and production for intimate social gatherings. Find Lady with a Plan on Instagram.
Should you not claim to be at least his equal in prowess and act upon the claim? I say try. If we never try, we shall never succeed. This proposition is a simple truth, and it's too important to be lost sight of for a moment. If we cannot beat the enemy where he now is, we never can. It is all easy if our troops march as well as the enemy, and it is unmanly to say they cannot do it.